In this video, we'll be exploring the essential process of creating a scheduler rate item, a crucial tool in construction when the scope of work is clear but the exact quantities are uncertain. Quick disclaimer, the rates and productivity measures in this video are only illustrative, although we've tried to keep them realistic. So let's get started. Step 1. Defining the scope. Firstly, let's define our scope of work. Laying a 100mm diameter pipe underground within an asphalt footway. This includes all activities necessary to complete the task, such as excavation, laying pipe, backfilling, and surface reinstatement. Step 2. Cost elements. Let's now move on to the cost breakdown, which includes labour, equipment, materials, and subcontractors. We'll base these costs on a standard 10-hour working shift. Cost elements are labour, which includes labourer at £28 per hour, excavation operator at £32 per hour, and 25% site supervision at £11 per hour. Next we have equipment, which includes 1.5 tonne excavator and breaker at £4 an hour, welfare unit at £4 an hour, including delivery, collection and maintenance, transit van at £3 an hour, and trailer at 50 pence per hour. This brings our total hourly cost to £82.50 per hour or £825 per shift. Next up we have materials and subcontract cost. For materials we have a 100mm PVC pipe at £10 per metre. And finally, subcontractor cost, where we have reinstatement in asphalt footway 500mm wide by 1 metre deep, including backfill at £110 per metre. We've assumed all muckaway, backfill and surface reinstatement will be managed by the reinstatement contractor. Small tools and fuel are included within the plant rate, and PPE and training is included within the labour rate. By detailing these costs, we can calculate the direct expense involved in laying each metre of pipe. Detailing cost is important, which is why Metroun offers a cost-effective way to stay up to date with your CPD for less than the price of a weekly coffee. Head over to metroun.co.uk to satisfy all of your formal CPD needs. Step 3. Productivity. Now we'll examine productivity rates to determine how many metres of pipe can be laid per shift. Suppose our crew can install 15 metres per 10-hour shift under normal conditions. This information helps us calculate labour and equipment cost per metre. Total labour and equipment cost per shift divided by metres laid. Understanding productivity is key to accurate scheduling and budgeting. Step 4. Incorporating risk allowance and fee. We'll now need to include a risk allowance to account for potential losses or unforeseen issues. This percentage is determined based on the risk profile outlined in the contract and reflects both probable risks and measures taken to mitigate them. In this instance, we're going to add 5% to cover issues like unforeseen ground conditions or weather delays. And finally, we'll include our fee percentage for overhead and profit. Let's assume a 10% fee, which covers corporate overhead, administrative expenses, office costs, etc., and profit margin, the return expected for undertaking the project. Finally, step 5, tying it all together. Let's use everything we discussed in previous steps to produce our final linear rate for laying 100mm pipe. Firstly, let's take our total labour and plant at £825 per shift. We now need to turn this into a metre rate using our productivity measure. Earlier, we determined that we could achieve 15 metres per shift. This would bring our direct labour and plant cost to £55 per metre. Let's now add the material and subcontract cost of £120 per metre. This brings our rate to £175 per metre. Let's add 5% risk, taking our rate to £184 per metre. Finally, let's add our fee for overhead and profit, bringing the final rate to £202 per metre. Other costs which may need to be considered include preliminaries, site setup/demobilisation, traffic management, signage, lighting, guarding, permit fees, utility mapping, and ground/environmental surveys. However, these items could have been allowed for within standalone extra overrates. If you'd like to see more content like this, focusing on rate build-ups and estimation techniques, let us know in the comments. And if you found this video useful, don't forget to like and subscribe. Your support helps our channel continue to grow and bring you more valuable content. Metroun, a commercial hub for your business.